Equivalent fractions is an important skill for developing all skills with fractions. If you understand equivalent fractions, you'll be well on your way to mastering all kinds of arithmetic with fractions. By the way, this is part 2 of Unit 1 in Math 1112, a quick review of that booklet. So we start off with this pizza. Let's put some pepperonis here. Well, maybe you're vegetarian, so I'll put in some onions and some peppers and some other things. So we have 3 slices of a 4-slice pizza. So the denominator tells me all the possibilities, and this tells me how many I have. Well, what is this equivalent to? Let's take this pizza here, and I'm going to slice it using my colored slicer into extra slices. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slices of, and the whole pizza, instead of having a potential of 4 slices, now has 8 with 2 missing. So we have 3/4 equals 6/8. And how do we get there? Arithmetically, all we do is we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. So you can take any pizza. So let's say we started with 3/4, and we want to know, let's say 12 here, right? We'll take it, make it easy. How many slices of a 12-slice pizza would this be? Well, 4 times 3 equals 12. So whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. And so we end up with 9 slices of a 12-slice pizza. And this can be done for whether you're asked to come up with your own equivalent fractions, or if you've got an answer like 7 out of 14 and you're asked to reduce to lowest terms. That means come up with an equivalent fraction that has the lowest possible denominator. So is 14, can 14 be divided by any number? Well, yes, it can be divided by 2. But can 7 be divided by 2? Nope. Alright, so backtrack there, that didn't work. But 14 times 2, sorry, 7 times 2 is 14, so we can always divide here by 7. Oh, and 7 is divisible by 7. So we end up with 14 divided by 7 is 2, 7 divided by 7 is 1. So, lowest terms. We always double check, can this be reduced anymore? No, it cannot. Remember, your answers must always be in lowest terms. The mixed number. Versus improper fraction. So in the same way, I'm going to use the pizzas to demonstrate. So we'll have, so let's say, 1 and 3 over 12. So let's say we want to reduce to lowest terms. Well, there's a few things going on. So first of all, you have a whole pizza, and 3/12 of a pizza. Oh my god, that's going to be a headache. So we're going to have 1, 2, 6, 3. So that's 12 slices. And how many of them are slices? Only 3 out of the 12. And this is a whole pizza. Well, how many slices do we have here? We have 12 slices. How many slices do we have here? 3 slices. So 1 and 3 over 12 is equivalent to 15 slices of a 12-slice pizza. This is the improper, and this is the mixed number. Now, how do we reduce that to lowest terms? If we start with 15 over 12, then if you understand this, picture, then you understand that we have a whole pizza and 3 slices left over. Alright, because you have 12 slices, I have a 12-slice pizza and 3 left over, gives me the remainder. But now we have to reduce this to lowest terms. And we're going to do that by, sorry about the color shift. We're going to divide the numerator here by 3, denominator here by 3, to give us 1. So multiplying, because all you do, if you look at the examples there, if you look at the steps, convert to improper fractions if needed, multiply numerators and multiply denominators, reduce to lowest terms. Now why do I want improper fractions? Because this, look at example 2 here, it's hard to do without the improper fractions. And sorry, these examples are pretty clear cut, so I don't think there'll be much complication with multiplying fractions. The only difficulty is after you learn adding and subtracting, you need to remember, until you get really comfortable with them, no common denominator needed. And division of fractions is pretty straightforward too. The only trick is that you need to find the reciprocal of the divisor. So let me just go over that quickly here. So terminology. So that's something 1/6 divided by, this is the divisor. And the reciprocal means invert. Flip. 1/4 reciprocal. And they're pretty straightforward because it's just like multiplication. Let's get into addition and subtraction of fractions. By the way, these are all on Math Essentials. Addition and subtraction of fractions. Two fractions are like, over here, if they have the same denominator. These are like, these are not like. So first exercise is like you do on your own. And so then I'm going to just demonstrate visually what is it that's happening when we're adding like fractions. So let's say we're adding the first example there, 1 3/5 plus 1/5. So we have a whole pizza and 3/5 of a pizza, so this will be plus one more of these slices. So that slice is going to go on top of that one. And so we get, so it's really easy to do and really easy to conceptualize. So we have a whole pizza here. And up in 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see how if the fractions are not like, if the denominators are not the same, then it's very difficult to add these pizza slices. So for example, and I'm not going to use the one, you'll see there's a subtraction example. If they're not like, let's look at an example of where they're not like. So we're adding, let's say, 1/2 of a pizza plus 1/3 of a pizza. So that's your half. So it's easy to draw. It's the peace sign. So when I slide this in here, it becomes a piece of that, but what number do I write? It's neither halves nor thirds. So what we need to do here is we need to get this and this to have a common denominator. So common denominator. And so we'll have common denominator. And the easiest way to come up with a common denominator is just to multiply these two denominators together. So we'll draw these, redraw these with 6 slices. So I'm going to just use a color here to do that. So I'm going to multiply each of these. This is the center here. 1, 2. So now we have 1, 2, 3. So I have 3. It's an equivalent fraction. That's the equivalent fraction. We multiply times 3. And we're going to take this and turn it into a 6-slice pizza by cutting each of the slices into 2. Now we can slide. This one goes in here, this one goes in here, and we know, you can see that we get 5/6 of a pizza. This works for subtraction as well. And there's some complications that come in when you're working with mixed numbers, but essentially the concepts and the work will be very similar. That's the end of the fractions review. There's lots more to do with that. I've just touched on it. But we'll come back to the final parts of booklet 1 in the next video.